Fantasy's going to be stuck at 2 here. And looks like Stork has the high ground right outside the main choke of the map in the center. So he's going to be mindful of any troops moving out from Fantasy to take him down. You see there are some turrets up here. So I think Fantasy did scan the main of Stork. He was able to see what was going on there. Getting that robotics facility means he might be going for some kind of a drop. And there's the third base up and running for Stork. So Stork's trying to macro heavily here. Sheath tanks are out for Fantasy, guarding that choke very well, has a nice turret placement there. And now it looks like Fantasy is going to try to get his third base, or maybe sneak around for a scout. We'll see what he does with this SCV. Guarding against Vulture Harass here, very smart on Stork's part. Putting up a couple pylons there. Getting another gateway, has his observatory out. And here come the Vultures. So far, Fantasy has showed us some great Vulture control. So we'll see if he's able to do any kind of harassment here. Stork's going to know this is coming. I think it's a very good idea on Fantasy to go for all these Vulture Harass. It looks like Stork does have all of his chokes blocked off with pylons, so could definitely help him out if he has enough blockage there of pylons. And a lot of factories going up for Fantasy, so there's the observer coming in, going to be able to spot a little bit. Probably going to be warded off by a turret soon enough, though. Some nice blockage there by Stork. It's very, very important for him to keep a lot of probe kills from happening again. And now Fantasy is laying some mines, trying to take out this pylon. And I think he was trying to force a Vulture through using mines, but I don't think it worked out too well for him. And now Stork sees that. He's going to be able to move up some troops to deal with it. And hopefully he gets his observer out in front of the Dragoons and is able to take out these mines. It looks like he is going to take out the mines on the way. And might be able to take out, looks like he got one Vulture. One Vulture manages to slip through, though. A lot of Vultures out for Fantasy. Now he's moving up his tanks, spotted by Stork. So we'll see if Stork has enough to cope. Since he has the high ground there, he's probably going to be able to cope pretty well. Unless Fantasy can siege and get him off of that high ground. See Stork kind of biding his time here. Getting a nice economy going, I have to say. And now Fantasy is taking the middle with some turrets. So I think Stork should group up quite a few more units before he thinks about pushing out here. Doing a little bit of mine clearing here. Almost got hit by a mine there. I think he needs to hang on to every Dragoon he can get right now. This is a very important game. This will determine if Stork is capable of getting a gold. I'm not sure if he is or not. He already got kicked out of the MSL, so I see he's getting out some more gateways. Fantasy working towards more factories and getting a very nice little contained sort of very nice static defense there in the middle. Still think Stork needs quite a few more troops before he should think about pushing in here. You see he does have a shuttle there, probably going to try for some Zealot bombs. And Fantasy doing a very good job just laying mines everywhere, being very annoying with these Vultures. If he keeps mines all around here and stops flanks, I think he'll have a very good chance of holding the static defense in the middle. I see Stork going in with a shuttle. I'm not sure what he's going to try to do with this. Coming in from behind there. Looks like Stork is pushing in here, doing a Zealot bomb, doing what he can to bomb through this, pushing a ton of Zealots in. He's probably going to have enough to break through this, maybe. There are no mines in the middle to drag into the tanks, though, so he's going to have to push here. This is going to be very close. All these Zealots coming in, trying desperately to break through the tank wall. And it looks like Stork is breaking through. Did a very good job breaking through that static defense, and now that defense is completely nullified. And Fantasy is going to have to fall back to his own base. You see Fantasy playing defensively there. I think Stork's got to be a little bit careful here. He's going to lose his Zealot. I think he did lose that Zealot there that was being shelled. Yeah, he lost that Zealot. I think he needs to be careful here. And Fantasy's trying to keep Stork from taking that high ground. It's very smart on his part, because if Stork takes the high ground, there's going to be no way that Fantasy can move out anywhere. You see Fantasy is actually taking another base up there at the 9 o'clock position. Ooh, a lot of mines being dragged into there. A lot of Zealots coming out here to mine clear, taking out another tank. And Stork is moving in here with his Dragoons. This is very aggressive play from him. He is bringing in some backup Dragoons. He's going to have to retreat a little bit here unless... Oh, those mines, just such great mine placement, whittling down the Dragoon forces. I'm not sure if Stork should commit to this or not. You see, he is pushing in, trying to take out the tanks. Able to take out one Vulture. And now he has a lot of troops. I think he probably should push in now. I don't think Fantasy has enough to cope with this. He's waiting for a little bit more reinforcements. He did have a spot on Fantasy's troop with his Observer, so this is a very exciting game so far. We'll see if Stork is able to do this. Fantasy getting out a lot more Vultures. Those Vultures, he has some great Vulture control, able to sneak some Vultures by there. Going to try to do some harassment with these or lay some mines. Just keep Stork guessing of where those mines are and keep Observers in the area. Looks like Stork able to stop a Vulture there. Going in for a Zealot Bomb, it looks like maybe some kind of Zealot Bomb, able to take out one tank. A Dark Templar. Oh, Major. Oh, that was awesome. Stork is moving in now with a large group. If he can break through this, this will be game. He's taking out all of these siege tanks. Fantasy does have some siege tanks up on the ledge. That's going to be very helpful for him. Stork, if he wants to get this, he's got to get those siege tanks off of the top ledge. Fantasy looking very stressed there. Still laying mines, doing a good job of defending with the mine placement. And now Stork being pushed back a little bit, and you see Fantasy is working at this pylon right now. Stork has got to, I think, focus more on this base up here. If he loses all of these probes, this is going to be major. He's probably going to lose them all if Fantasy is able to push through here and kill all these troops. You see Stork is pushing into the main now. This is very good play on Stork's part, being very aggressive, still being pushed back though. Stork has got to reinforce his army, and he's got to take care of that 10 o'clock position right now. He can't let Fantasy do this. He's not even running his probes. You see, he is finally running his probes. He got a cannon there. That's going to be able to do a little bit more for him, but he's still being taken out by mines. Fantasy is fighting tooth and nail at this, and Stork's still not committing to an attack. Those siege tanks on the ledge being a lot for him to handle there. And I don't even think he was able to disrupt any mining at that second base. So this game is still pretty tied up here, and Vulture almost taking out that cannon there. So Stork able to fend off that harassment a little bit. He probably lost a lot of probes up there though, and not able to do any kind of harassment of his own. And now Fantasy is bringing some more defense back. So you see Stork is expanding again and bringing in some troops here. I don't know if he has an Observer with him or not. Yeah, he does. He's picking through those mines, doing what he can. He's got to keep those Dragoons spread out though, because if he gets within siege range here, it's going to be doomed for him. I think he's being a little bit too aggressive here. He's got to just group some troops in the middle, work up to some higher tech like Arbiters, and then move in.